boys watch the girls, while the girls watch the boys who watch the girls go by.
I really loved it. The more you get to do when it's a good script, good director, the better it is for an actor. And since it was the last question, I just have to say I'm so happy to be here, and the one who really speaks French among us is our producer, Rune Tronsson. But why I want to say that is a stretch to invest all this money in a documentary about two people like us and believe that there is an audience that will go to the cinema and see it. And actually yesterday here in Montreal we experienced that. We showed it for an audience, and when there was question answers afterwards, people stood up. Not so much questions, people talked about themselves and their love story. I have to give a compliment to someone who wants to invest money so people can see a story about two difficult people, but in a way paralleling life in a way that everybody have been through, and believe, yes, there is an audience for that. And I'm very grateful that you did that, because I feel this movie, for this reason and for his creation, is important. That is the stretch, much more than an actress who gets beautifully made up to be both mother and daughter. That's fun somehow.
Do you think...
Montreal 36, Festival dei Film du Monde, fuori concorso c'è stato uno splendido documentario, Liv and Ingmar, diretto da questo bellissimo giovane che vedete, che vive a Londra e che si chiama Dirash Kolkar. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So, could you speak about your documentary that was so touching?
Thank you so much. It's a film about the 42 years and 12 films long relationship between legendary actress Liv and master filmmaker Ingmar Bergman. But the story is really not about two of the greatest artists of our times and times to come. The stories of two human beings, the stories of a man and a woman and of two children, and the stories of their kind of love, their kind of friendship and togetherness. That is what the film is about.
You have done it in 2 days, if I'm not wrong, in a Faroe Island.
Well, the interviews that we shot with Liv lasted for 2 days, and they were two very intense days because we shot almost 8 hours a day. But the film took about 14 months to complete from its conception, from its beginning to the end.
How interesting, emotional and touching was to work with such a people as Liv Ullmann.
Well, extremely. I think it's such a hugely gratifying experience. You feel grateful in your heart for having been able to do that. Also, it's a huge learning experience because you learn from the artist sitting across from you, you learn from the human being, from the woman, and you just gain, at the end of it, you just feel enriched. You know, it's a beautiful experience. Unforgettable.
Compliments, and when we will have the chance to see it in Italy?
I really hope that anybody who's watching this program, if there are Italian distributors interested in this film, we are very much interested in putting this on cinema, especially because this film is shot for cinema with a 5.1 sound designed, a legendary composer has done music for it, and it is also about, it's a document of one of the most important part of cinematic history. It should be seen in cinema and of course then on television. So yes, I would be very happy to have it in Italy. I love Italy very much. I have a very special connection with Florence and with a wonderful lady called Selvaggia Velo who does an incredible festival there. So I love Italy very much.
So all the best.
Thank you very much.
And see you in Italy.
Thank you, absolutely.
Festival di Film du Monde Montreal 36, siamo al Marché, con noi c'è il produttore di un bellissimo film che ci ha molto commosso, il film di Liv Ullmann, il titolo è Liv and Ingmar, il produttore si chiama Rune Trondsen. Hi, what does it mean to be a producer of such a beauty as the documentary Liv and Ingmar?
Well, you know, this has been created by a director, and the funny thing is, and what makes this universal story is that he's Indian. He came from India, he's based in London, and he came to Norway, fascinated by the story of Liv and Ingmar, the love story of Liv Ullmann and Ingmar Bergman. And he asked me, would you produce this? And as I had the opportunity to do that with him as a young, he's really upcoming, he's ambitious, he's very intelligent director, and as I had a connection to Liv from before, we had the possibility to work with both of these. So, I mean, who could say no to two such people? And what really triggered it was his way of thinking, the way that he really wanted to tell the story. It was not a traditional documentary saying he was born and this happened, but he wanted to look into the love story of these two people, seeing them as ordinary people, but putting them in a kind of as they are filmmakers, icons on the star of film, on the heaven of film. I mean, they are still only human beings. And he said that he would go into and try to find out whether it is, as his theory is, that Bergman took the ideas and discussions that they had on the private side. He brought them into his office. He put on the music, he sat down, he wrote them into his scripts, and he made Liv play them. And that has been the ambition with this film, to show that there was a connection between the private life and the life that we see on screen. And I think he has succeeded in that.
Thank you so much, and all the best. It will be really the most famous of this year and maybe of the next years.
Thank you.